3.3, Division of Polynomials. You might want to ask, why do we need to now do division of polynomials? Well, this is after 3.1, 3.2, where the focus is on graphing polynomial functions, where now 3.3, 3.4, the focus now is to locate or determine the zeros or the roots of a polynomial function. So the division of polynomials is the preparation for that. 3.4, then you would further understand the purpose of this. All right. Now the division of polynomials, when you are in grade 9, starting to get to know polynomials, that time you studied adding, subtracting, they're the same thing, multiply, and also divide. So then that time you would have something rather simple. So like for example, 3x minus 6 divided by 2, just divided by a monomial, that is just a number. So in this case, I always draw like that. So this is that, and then this is that. So that means this is 3x divided by 2, subtract 6 divided by 2. So then that will have, it becomes 3. So then we have 3 over 2x subtract 3. All right. Or it could be a little bit looking more complicated. It could be 3x squared subtract 6x, for example, then divided by, say, 3x. So now your divisor or divisor is not only a number, but now it's polynomial itself. So then the same thing. So this bunch and then this bunch. So then it becomes 3x squared divided by 3x. Now subtract 6x divided by 3x, right? So now this one and this one cancel, this one cancels, this one cancels, this one cancels, 2 and 1. So then you got x subtract 2. All right, so now you will be looking at, oh, by the way, the grade 11, you probably have a little bit more complicated looking things. Could be when you studied rational equations, you could have something like x squared subtract 5x plus 4. Then this is divided by x minus 4, for example. Okay, now given that x, the restriction is x does not equal to 4. Okay, so what you do here is that you factor the numerator to become x minus 1, x minus 4, and on the bottom now is x minus 4. So in this case, this binomial cancels, then this division becomes x minus 1. All right, so now from today, what's going on here? Why these things are not really moving? This part is not moving along with my page. That's interesting. But now let's not worry about this for now. So today you will see something like 3 that to the x power 3, subtract 2 to the x power 2, and plus 1. And then this one divided by x minus 2. So in this case, your numerator now cannot be factored in order to cancel with the x minus 2. So what do I do? So this is that we're going to use long division, the same as you did with number before in elementary school, to do this one. So long division means, like, how about 20 divided by 7? So exactly the same thing to apply onto this. I will show example about how to do this, but before that, let's get some other things reviewed. So let's go to take a look at your workbook. All right, so this is also this part of the problem that I have not figured out. So let's take a look at, I cannot even erase that. Somehow it shows on this screen. So just bear with me. Okay, so I just only need you to pay attention to the terminology. Okay, so the terminology here, division terminology. All right, so this is if something divided by something, then this something is called a dividend. And then this divided by this is called the divisor. And then the result becomes the quotient. In the end, if this becomes 0, sure, then you have no remainder. But if there's r, then there's a remainder. Now in this case, it seems like the remainder is just only a number because it's a number r as remainder. However, note, remainder can also be a polynomial. It could definitely have the remaining x power 2. The different things could be remained in the very end. All right? Sorry. So let's take a look about how we can do the division. So let me, can I start a new page? Okay, I'll start a new page. Okay, oh, these things still here, and I have no idea how to get rid of them, which is rather sad. I just do not know why this happened. Doesn't matter what I use eraser. Oh, I can erase them. Oh, that's good. That's interesting. Did not know that. Okay, so now let's go back to my pen. I use a blue color. So now, for example, I go back to the example that I just write it out. So this is 3 to the x to the power 3, subtract 2x to the power 2 plus 1. And this is divided by x minus 2. As I said, because we cannot cancel anything, we don't know what to do. Okay, well then we just do long division. So similarly as you wrote number before, now you're going to write polynomials. So here is your dividend. Okay, now note, if by descending order for a polynomial, there's something missing here. What is missing? Missing this x to the power 1. So then what does that mean? That means the coefficient is 0x. The coefficient is 0x. So in that case, to be prepared for just not to get very confused about this missing term, we are going to say, okay, well, let's put this in. Let's put this in. Later on, when you become very fluent, really, you don't have to put this in. But in any case, let's say plus 0x and plus 1. Okay, all right. Now my divisor is x subtract 2. My way of doing log division is a little bit different. It's the same thing, but just seems like I have my way of doing it is at a different place. The location, I write the first quotient, all right? So what I do is here, because I want to come up with as a first term by multiplying these two. Now this is x, this is 3x to the power 3. Of course, if I multiply 3 to the x to the power 2, then this multiplied by that give me 3 to the power x to the power 3. And then this multiplied by that is negative 6 to the power of 2. All right? So now here we go. Subtract this from here. Well, that becomes 0, right? 3 subtract 3. And so that's become 0. That's what I want. And then be very, very careful here about the subtraction. Negative 2 subtract. There is a subtract. Subtract negative 6. So in this case, this becomes positive. Now positive 6 and negative 2, then that becomes positive 4. This is very, very easy to make mistakes here. Okay, So now positive 4x squared. And then next, same as the long division before, pull this one down. So then that becomes plus 0x, plus 0x. Okay, so now I have this first term versus this. So how can what can I multiply to be as same as this? And of course, sure enough, this should be plus, 4x. So plus 4x. So then that gives me positive 4x squared. Now this one multiplied by 4x, negative 2, multiplied by 4x, that becomes negative 8x. All right. So now you see why this 0, the here, that's the meaning of this. Okay, so now another line, this subtract this, 0. You don't have to write this. I just for the beginning practice. So that's 0. Oh my goodness, look at the down there. I'm going to erase that. So then that, subtract that, becomes positive 8x, and then pull that down, plus 1. Okay, so now this is a 8x, this is x here. How can I find a factor to multiply? So you give me 8x, and of course it will be 8. So 8 multiplied by x is 8x, and then 8 multiplied by negative 2, negative 16, and subtract it again, that is 0x, gone, beautiful, that's what I wanted. Plus 1 subtract 16 becomes plus 16, then that is plus 17. So then this one is my remainder. This one is my remainder. Okay, let me get rid of this down part here. So I was writing out myself before. Okay, so here we go. So in this case now, if we write it, or use the green color, if we write it, that means it's 3x to the power of 3, subtract 2 to the x to the power of 2 plus 1. That equals to what? That equals to this one, x minus 2, as a matter of fact, I can write it at the beginning, multiply your quotient, 3x to the power of 2 plus 4x plus 8, and with a remainder of plus 17. So this is this. All right. Well, again, why are we doing this for? Don't worry about it. 3.4, then you will know the reason. Okay, so let me demonstrate another example. Let's see which one we should do next. Next one, let's do a more complicated one. So why don't we use this one to divide it by a trinomial? Okay, so this is divided by x squared minus 2x plus 3. Okay, so let me just show this example, and then after that is basically the practice you have to do. Okay, so let's do this. So we have a 3x to the power of 4 plus 2 to x to the power of 3, subtract 5 to the x power of 2, and minus 1. Now this one divided by this trinomial. This is x squared, subtract 2x plus 3. Okay, so again and again, let's just first of all glance through this one here. Okay, so the 4, then 3, then 2. Oh, there's no 1. Okay, there's no 1 again. Okay, well, let me just somehow get a 1 going here. Power of 1. So that means going to add on to something like add It's 0 to the x to the power of 1 and minus 1. Copy the question before. All right, so now again, here, x to the power of 2. There's a 3 to the x power of 4. Now therefore, I'm going to have a 3 to the x power of 2. And this will give me 3, the first term, that. And then this one multiplied by that is negative 6 x to the power of 3. And then this one, that is positive 9 x to the power of 2. All right. So now here we go. This is 0. This is a 2 subtract negative 6. Becomes positive 6, positive 6, positive 2, 8 x to the power of 3. Now this one now subtract 9. So that means this will become a negative 9, negative 5, negative 14 to the x to the power of 2. Now pull this x down. So that is 0x. Okay, now do it again. So now I have this one. So sure enough, I'm going to plus multiply by 8 to the power of just 1. Then this will be giving me 8 to the x to the power of 3. And then this is going again. Now that is negative 16 to the power of x to the power of 2. And then 24x. Okay, subtract again. Okay, the first term gone. That's just what I wanted. Plan that way. So 14 minus negative 16 become positive 16. So therefore, that is positive 2 x to the power of 2. 0 minus 24. Sure, then that is negative 24x. Now, pull that one down, subtract 1. Okay, so now 2 to the x power of 2. There's 1 x power of 2. So sure, plus 2. So 2 multiplied by that is 2x to the power of 2. Negative 2x multiplied by 2 is negative 4x. 3 multiplied by 2 is 6. All right. So now 24 subtract 4 means plus 4. That means negative 20x. Negative 1 subtract 6 become negative 6, negative 7. All right, so I'm done. So that's what I said. The remainder could be a polynomial. This is binomial. So now if we write this whole thing out, that means your dividend right from the beginning plus 2x to the power 3 subtract 5x to the power 2 subtract 1. This equals to your divisor x to the power 2 subtract 2x plus 3 multiplied by your quotient 3x squared plus 8x plus 2. And then what is your remainder? Negative 20x subtract 7. So then that is this long division. All right, so now let's go back to your workbook. Let's take a look. So I think that by demonstrating these two questions should be enough. It's a long enough video. After that, just please do practice, and you have any questions, you can always come to ask me. So this is what we're trying to say. So this basically all this dividend, divisor, quotient, remainder. Now it says that step 1, step 2. It doesn't really matter, but you know, in descending powers of variable, insert 0 coefficient for missing powers of the variable, sure, and then be extremely careful in the subtraction subtraction step. So that means minus this number. All right? Okay. Oh, by the way, so this synthetic division, we do not need to be bothered with this. Okay, so don't worry about this. We just, as far as we are good with the long division for 3.3, then we're all going to be good.